Hi, I'm Bob the Beast Sapp.
The hero of this release, as you could guess, will be the incomparable Bob Sapp, a pile of muscles, whose main weapon was not fighting skills, but frenzied charisma. Sapp was more of a kind and cheerful showman than a fighter, but he knew how to sell tickets, and the audience was always willing to attend his fights to see how Sapp would either writhe in pain or break the laws of nature and beat one of the best kickboxers in history. From childhood, Sapp was a very big guy and fond of American football. After college, he played for the Chicago Bears, but because of his affinity for steroids, he was dropped from the storied franchise. Sometime later, Sapp unexpectedly received an invitation to participate in an unusual boxing match against another football player, Will Perry, once Sapp's idol. Sapp exited the duel against his former idol victorious, while earning good money in the process. And so began Sapp's journey into the world of wrestling and martial arts, where he soon enjoyed incredible popularity. The Japanese simply adored Sapp, inviting him to do television appearances and selling trinkets in his image. Sapp himself earned about $3 million in royalties. As for martial arts, Sapp fought in MMA and kickboxing, through which he held a negative record at a combined 24 wins and 39 losses. However, despite a limited arsenal, and due to his strength and power under pressure, Sapp was able to wreak havoc for many top fighters. Today, we recall the fiercest fights of the iconic Bob Sapp. 2002, Sapp's first bout under the auspices of K1. His opponent is the karateka, Tsuyoshi Nakasako.
Zebra, we all know what happens when a zebra beats a beast.
Immediately noticeable, Sapp's accompanied by Morris Smith, a member of the UFC Hall of Fame and world-class kickboxer. At the outset, Bob pinches Nakasako to the ropes and knocks him down with a killer elbow, attempting to finish off his victim early. The referee loses control over the situation, and it looks like a regular Saturday beating near the nightclub. Such unrestrained behavior was unforgivable, and Sapp was disqualified. This behavior from Sapp would become the norm, but it was clear that these outbursts of anger were part of the show, rather than a real desire to harm his opponents. The same year, 2002, Bob Sapp dueled one of the best fighters of the entire Pride era, Rodrigo Nogueira, during his reign as heavyweight champion, with only a single loss to Dan Henderson. Sapp had a few chances early in the bout, and was noticeably inferior to the Brazilian in everything, except for a frenzied power bestowed on Sapp by nature. In the first round, Sapp picks up Nogueira like a sack and lands his face on the canvas, subsequently controlling the champion in the stall for almost the entire first round, showering blows. But the Brazilian was lion-hearted and reluctant to give up, holding on for the end of the round. Round 2. Again, the passage to the legs from Nogueira and a defense. The attempt at the triangle from the Brazilian is unsuccessful. Then Kimura, but Sapp again foils Nogueira's plan. At the end of the second round, the Brazilian wises up and is able to put a painful end to this night for Sapp. In this fight with the champion, due to his athleticism and physicality, Sapp managed to create big problems for Nogueira, but in the end, it was simply not enough. October 2002, Grand Prix, K1. Sapp squares off against the legend, 4-time Grand Prix champion Ernesto Host. Sapp's chances in this fight were about the same as those of Floyd Mayweather overcoming Khabib Nurmagomedov. Host tallied an incredible number of victories, and according to the laws of physics, chemistry, gravity, and mathematics, was expected by the audience to beat Bob Sapp without any difficulty. In the first round, Bob presses him into the corner and begins bombarding him. Host was caught by surprise, but breaks free with the help of low kicks that disrupted Sapp's rhythm. Sapp again clamps the legend in the corner and carries out a series of punches, knocking Host down. Another hurricane of strikes from Sapp, and a shocked Host falls again, unable to withstand the vicious onslaught. The fight continues, and Sapp appears confident in the ring, again driving into the corner, only to be stopped by the gong at the end of the round. Doctors examine Host's wound, and at that time decide to call the match, shocking everyone. Sapp emerges victorious, and his popularity soars to new heights. Sapp won the battle, but the war raged ahead. Revenge. Many questioned what round Sapp would fall, but still others held out hope that he may once again break the system and prove his superiority to the world. The first round, Sapp repeats his strategy from the first fight with Host, pressing the legend to the ropes, but misses several punches in the meeting. Host lands an excellent combination that ends with a hook that drops Sapp to the ring. Sapp quickly regains his feet and continues the battle. In the second round, Sapp again presses on the attack, but Host appeared ready to go, almost. Suddenly, with a left hook, Sapp sends Host to the canvas. Host was not able to finish Sapp off, who endured everything that was thrown at him. Sapp was able to repeat his feat from the first fight, managing to fell Host in the second round. Another momentous victory for Bob Sapp. (2003) Again the K1 Grand Prix. Up next, Mirko Cro Cop, who was known for his skill and precision, knocking out his rivals with one swift kick. However, Sapp defeated Host, who had himself bettered Cro Cop on 3 separate occasions. From the outset, Sapp appeared to have Cro Cop on the run, but running around the ring, Cro Cop had already figured out how to defeat Sapp. Cro Cop swiftly struck a hard middle kick, and then sent Sapp a gift-wrapped left cross. The blow broke Sapp's eye socket and necessitated surgery. After one of Sapp's more vicious defeats, let's move on to Sapp's most epic match, 2003, K1, rival owner of a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu and Taekwondo, Kimo Leopoldo. The match was filled with intrigue, and Mike Tyson, who had his own conflict with Bob Sapp, was at the forefront. In the first round, Sapp is known to drive into his opponent with overpowering brutish blows. But Kimo still managed to land his own. Amid Kimo's flurry, Sapp suddenly sends Kimo to the mat with an elbow strike. Kimo rises and Sapp falls under a hail of punches like a sack of potatoes, but somehow finds the strength to stand up before round's end. Doctors examine Sapp, with Kimo celebrating an apparent victory, but the referee reassures him the fight will continue. Sapp returns with a vengeance, and again drove Kimo with power, eventually finishing off his tired foe. Kimo falls by knockout. Sapp, already on to the next, shouts to Mike Tyson in an apparent challenge.
I think Mr. Sapp is awesome. He has awesome physical power. But as I said before, if we fighting him off the Queensberry, I love to fight him. Tonight.
Hey, listen up here.
Hey.
They may call you Kid Dynamite. You mess with me, I'll put your fuse out.
Sign the contract, big boy. Sign the contract.
As far as we know, K1 signed a contract with Tyson, and the parties agreed on a fight. But Tyson was unable to obtain a visa due to his criminal record, easily among the most intriguing battles that never took place. March 2005, Bob Sapp fights in MMA against the Olympic silver medalist judoka, Min-Soo Kim. The Korean fighter with the formidable nickname, Mr. Shark, decided early that he could knock out the big guy without any problems. But as we've seen before, Sapp rushes to the attack, grabbing the Korean and checks his strength. Irritated, Kim showers Sapp with blows. However, Sapp returned fire and was able to knock out the judoka. The ref stepped in and was eventually able to scare off an enraged Sapp from his defeated foe. Now, July 2005. Another Bob Sapp fight under MMA rules. His opponent was Russian sumo wrestler Alan Karyev, who managed to amass 7 world arm wrestling titles and 5 sumo wrestling titles in his career. And this duel with Sapp was the second in Karyev's career, having already lost the first. That evening, these two big guys came together in the ring. At the beginning, Karyev unleashed a flurry of blows on Sapp, and then transfers the fight to the ground in the mount. It seemed that Karyev held every advantage in his hands, and it would only be a matter of time. But the tide proceeded to shift several times, until the referee lifted the fighters into the rack. Karyev ran into Sapp's powerful jabs twice, with the second shot extremely powerful. Bob Sapp was once again victorious. In addition to MMA, kickboxing, TV shows, and commercials, Sapp recorded an album, Sapp Time, that is available on Amazon for $12. If you liked this video, be sure to press like and subscribe to the channel. Drop a Sapp Time in the comments so that we know that the time has come for us to drop a Bob Sapp sequel, which we promise to be even more entertaining than the first. We'll see you soon.